All right, everybody, welcome to the next level. I'm going to ask that we go back to mute for just a couple minutes here for all that we can all hear each other and there's no background noise. I know I've got some construction going on down the hall from me, but hopefully it doesn't interfere too much. Happy Monday. Excited to be here. It's a little cooler today than it has been in the last few weeks, so this will be my first Buffalo fall, so I'm looking forward to all the changes. I can see the leaves starting to fall out my windows. That's always pretty. So welcome to the next level. This is week 2 of the next level, presented by Pathstone Enterprise Center and the Small Business Education Institute. And we are, of course, sponsored by KeyBank. Big shout out to KeyBank and all of our partners over there. Thank you for allowing us to do this. We are blessed to have you as partners in this. So for those of you who don't know, maybe this is your first time, the next level is a free 12-week business training series for existing businesses or for individuals who have completed our boot camp for startup series. I know there's a lot of you here today who have gone through the boot camp series. A lot of you we saw at graduation, so love to see familiar faces, and we see some new faces today and in this series. So welcome. If you guys have never been to a Pathstone event, a Pathstone program, I want to welcome you to this series. And one thing we always reinforce is the need for and the desire for engagement. So if you guys have questions or concerns, or you want to know more, or even if you just want to network with each other, the best way to do that is in the chat, and then in the few minutes before we get started around noon. But the best way to engage with everybody is in the chat feature there on your typically in the middle of your screen there at the bottom. We welcome you to engage with us, and let's go ahead and get into some of the rules of engagement here. First is we are recording today's presentation, and that includes faces on the grid. So if your camera's on, we can see you, and that will be recorded, and we're going to put that out on YouTube. And actually right now, this is all streaming live on Facebook Live. So if you don't want your face shown, we understand that. Go ahead and turn your video off, your camera off. But if you don't mind having your face out there, we'd love to see your smiling faces, even on a Monday, and as we all get back into it here. But that's another thing you should know is that we are live on Facebook. So if for some reason there's an issue with your Zoom, or maybe you're doing something on the go, you do have the ability to watch us on Facebook Live. You can actually go back and re-watch us on Facebook Live as well as on YouTube. We will be sending out everything we talk about today in an email, so you'll have the slides and the link to the presentation, as well as any other information we drop down in the chat, or any resources that are mentioned throughout the day today. The black Zoom toolbar is your friend. Please use that. There's a lot of things you can do to so there's a lot of things you can do to engage. There's my word, to engage with everybody. And there's you can do the reactions up here. Let me see if I can. I guess since I'm presenting, I don't have the reactions, but there's reaction buttons you can use to hey, I like this, or I don't understand this, or I love this content. Feel free to do that. Just like Mr. McCarley's doing there with the thumbs up, and Lamar, I see Lamar doing it as well. One thing that really helps, and I think everybody's doing a pretty good job of this right now, is staying muted during the presentation if you're not speaking. That just helps, like I said, cut down on background noise, and it helps kind of keep that static away, both during the call and then on the recording as well. So if you have questions, feel free to use the chat option to submit those questions. You can submit them to the general chat. You don't need to select a specific person to send it to. We will see the question and get it to the presenter or the proper Pathstone team member. If you're not comfortable using the chat, maybe you're more comfortable asking your question out loud, feel free to unmute yourself and ask for a moment to ask your question or make your comment. We'd love to hear that. We're always open to engagement and feedback and dialogue during these sessions. So we want to hear from you. That's why we're here. We're here for you and to answer your questions. So I'm going to make a couple of announcements, but first I want to hand it over to Duncan. And Duncan, I know you want to talk about the social media competition, so I'm going to give Duncan a couple seconds here, a couple minutes here to talk about social media competition and all the updates on that. So Duncan, the floor is yours, sir.
All right. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everybody. So again, I want to say welcome to the next level. I'm so excited to see people in our community trying to build wealth. That's just an exciting thing to see, that you guys are investing the time into yourself. The most powerful thing that happened to me last year was somebody said, Duncan, you do all this work for everybody else. When are you going to start doing stuff for yourself? And I was just like, dang, you know what I'm saying? That's a good point. And so I just applaud you all for the steps that you're taking and believing in yourself. So we had a social media competition, and I understand, I was just talking to one of the winners, and they said that they have an Eventbrite that says 12:30, or something. They got some mix up with the time, but they're joining. So what we did was we had everybody who entered the competition. Yahira did a great job of making graphics for them, and then they shared the graphics, and they had to have somebody like the page and like their graphic. That's how they voted. Or on Twitter, follow the page and like their graphic. And so the top 3 winners are Delilah's Hair Company. Delilah, are you on here?
I'm Deandra. It's Delilah's Hair Growth Serum. Oh, I'm so excited.
Okay, so that's you. Okay, Deandra. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Coming in second, we have Miss Lola. Well, not second, I'm saying the second winner is Miss Lola's Event Planning. Is Miss Lola on here? Miss Lola, you in the building? Okay. And then the third winner, and again, these are just the top 3 in no particular order, is Alicia McCann's. She's got her Lish Designs. She does the graphics. Alicia Collins McCann's. So Alicia, are you on here? I know she was logging in. Alicia, you here? Yes, I see a yes in the chat. Okay, so this is what happened, y'all. And we're being fully transparent here. I talked with Yahira. We were supposed to get y'all info on Monday, and on Tuesday, we were gonna post it so everybody could get going. But we didn't get it up Tuesday, and Wednesday we did this, we didn't post anything because we were joining the campaign to stop Facebook and other networks from profiting from promoting hate, from hateful messages. So everything got up Thursday. So what me and Yahira have decided is we are gonna take the top 3 winners. So Alicia, Miss Lola, and Deandra, and those 3 will have another week to see who's first and who's second and second. All right? So all 3 of them are gonna be winners. So one person is gonna win $1,000 worth of technical assistance, one-to-one business consulting, and the other 2 are gonna win $500. So this evening, we're gonna repost those 3 businesses, just those 3 businesses. And when y'all wake up tomorrow, you got from now till next week to go ahead and start the whole thing over. Get your people to like the page and like your picture. Remember, they gotta like or follow the page. If they already like and follow it, that's fine. But if they haven't, they gotta like and follow it. Does that make sense? Can I get some thumbs up? That's real clear. And the reason we did this competition is for a couple things. Number one, you're gonna get this one-on-one business coaching, this technical assistance, $1,000 worth to really take you to that next level, or that $500 to really, like or follow. I'm saying like or follow. Thank you, Alicia. Because on Facebook, we want you to like the Pathstones page, and then they like your picture. On Twitter, they follow the Pathstones page, and then like your picture. So do it like that. And so we want you to do a couple things. One, and I'm sorry I'm talking long, Lamar. Lamar got that look like, shut up, man. I'm trying to get this info, get this money. All right, I'm going fast. So the reason we wanted to do this was, number one, we wanted to give this opportunity to get this real technical assistance. This isn't like some play stuff. You see how we got this great speaker and presenter? Pathstone got a whole list of people who are business experts that can help you with your business one-on-one. Number two, you got to grow your social media. I know they were talking about sales and marketing. If you got a business, your social media got to be booming. So we're trying to encourage people to use those platforms to really grow and develop their business. So with that being said, y'all.
Hello.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, no, this is Makisha. Lola was having a hard time getting in, but I just reached out to her and I let her know. So she's trying to get in.
Okay, awesome.
Thank you, Makisha. I just sent you a message. I'm going to reach out to Lola so I can help her get in. I appreciate it.
Not a problem.
Thanks.
Listen, y'all, this is Pat Stones is on the move, man. Y'all, listen, your business is growing out. Let me ask you this, and they don't want me to do this, so I always cringe before I do it because they don't want to talk about money. Pat Stones, I am supporting the Pat Stones in our community because our businesses need money. Banks don't want to loan the black businesses like that. Well, they say they do, but like, you know, it's hard for us to get the resources to really build a business. Pat Stone is a nonprofit. They're not a bank, but they still have the access to the banks in order to create this wealth and this capital for small businesses. So if you thinking to yourself, when I get to my business ready, I want to take out 100,000, 200,000. Put in the chat from 5,000 to 250,000 how much you think you would need to get invested in your business to go to the level that you want to be at. So just put that in the chat for me. Just put a number. Would it take $10,000 to take you from where you are to where you want to go? I see Ruthie said 50,000. Come on, what is it going to take for you? If you could get it right now, if I could say, Dion, they ready right now, Dion, they ready right now. How much would you take out as a loan from a nonprofit with a low interest rate? How much would you take out right now to take your business to the next level? If Dion said she ready right now, put it in the chat. I see 10,000 I can grow from 75, 5 to 250,000. How much would you take out? I see 50, another 25, 10. Somebody said 100,000. Alicia said, oh, wait, a loan? 10? She dropped that back down to 10. I see you, Alicia. Well, listen, you know, they ain't giving out money, but they're creating an opportunity for you to get the money that you need to build your business. So that's what we working towards. So I want y'all to be, Stephen Covey says, begin with the end in mind. So if that's where we want to get to, Manson, if you thinking, okay, that's what I need to go to the next level. Now, when you're going through this training, when Mr. McCarley is giving out this info, now you take notes different if you know that's where you're going. If you know that's where you want to get to at the end of this training, you want to say, all right, I went through startup bootcamp. I went through next level, and now I'm ready to get the money to make a storefront. I'm ready to buy a building, lease some space. I'm ready for this to be real. Now you take notes different because that's what we're building towards. All right, I'm going to shut up. Over to you, Mr. McCarley. Dion, I'm sorry for taking so much time.
No, don't apologize. You were great. This is information that our program participants need to hear, and you're absolutely right. Like you said, start out with the end in mind. What do I want to do with what I'm learning here from Pathstone? I want to use the tools, the resources, the skills, the network that I'm getting here to take my business to the next level and keep growing and getting to the point where I can get the capital I need to make the next move. So thank you so much, Duncan. It's always great to have you on this call. These calls, as Adam says, you're the best hype man there is. So thank you so much. Congratulations to all the winners, and have a good day, Duncan. We'll be talking soon.
I always, I love when Duncan's on the call, but I hate following him because the energy level goes back down to my level. So Duncan, thank you so much for coordinating our outreach and also the social media competition and making sure that everybody is engaged and that we have a good following and we have the right people here in our program. So big thank you to Duncan. And there are more programs you guys should know about. Right now we are in the middle of Tech Talks, which is continues this Thursday at noon from 12 to 1:30, and we're going to be talking about social media. I know a lot of you are already in that program and you're enjoying it, you're going through it. Now we're halfway through, but you can still join. Even if you only want to join for one session, you can come in and still join us and get what you need out of these sessions. So this Thursday, September 24th from 12 to 1:30, we'll be talking about social media with David Simons from Kingdom Social Media. And then next week and the following Wednesday, we're going to wrap up Tech Talks with the final two sessions on September 30th and October 17th or October 7th. We'll be talking about website development and content management with Mike Warren over at View Signage. I just talked to Mike the other day, as a matter of fact. So he's excited for the next two Wednesdays. So the next Wednesday and the following to talk about Tech Talk. So come over to Tech Talks on Thursday this week and learn how to use social media to grow your business, grow your brand, and engage with your customers and your market. Also, you should know that the Next Level workshop series is going on for the next 10 weeks after this, and it's every Monday from 12 to 1:30, just like we are today. Sign up for that. Make sure you're signed up for that, and you come back every week. Mr. McCarley puts on a great show and educates everybody really well. And even me, I'm a student as well of this, so I love watching it, and I take notes just like you guys. And one thing we don't have on here is our small business forums are coming back, and I'm really excited for this one. We've worked really hard to make to really tailor this to the participants who are going to be there, and we're going to be talking about nonprofits on October 2nd at 11 a.m. October 2nd is a Friday at 11 a.m. We're going to be talking about nonprofits, how to start one, how to grow one, how to manage one, how to do the legal side of it. And half of that time is going to be spent in direct dialogue, direct conversation back and forth between the panelists who are there and all of the participants. So if you guys show up, you're going to be able to talk directly to experts in the nonprofit field, and we'd love to have you there. And for you to share more about maybe the nonprofit you want to start or the nonprofit you're involved in and how you can grow it and how you can be a more of a mission-based charitable organization like a nonprofit is. But keep in mind that you don't have to be a nonprofit to be mission-based. Every business should have a mission, just like Duncan and Dion have talked about, having the end in mind. There's a reason you're doing what you're doing. And so now I want to know a little bit about why you are doing what you're doing. I'm going to have Dion come in and call on a couple of our participants to ask them who they are and why they're doing what they're doing. So Dion, I'm going to hand it over to you.
Thank you, Adam. This is the fun part of these sessions for me, where I get to learn more about each of you, because I feel like I'm personally invested in your success, and I'm not just saying that, I really mean that. So I just love to learn more about the folks who are on our call. So I'm going to start with Cheyenne Broughton. Hi, Cheyenne. Would you like to?
Hi, it's Shayna. You can just call me Shay. I'll put that up there next time. But I am the founder of Our Mommy Village, and I do doula, lactation, and postpartum care for especially every woman, but mostly my clients are Black women. Due to the disparities of birth outcomes for Black and brown babies and their moms in the hospital. So my passion work is also my pain too, because then I'm like ready to scream in the hospitals, but I do support them and educate them on their choices. And I do my best to try and make sure that whatever choices that they make after having the baby, that they're supported and that they have a really well thought out plan. A lot of Black and brown moms don't have a lot of the village support that they should. So I become like a big sister / auntie, mom, nanny, teacher to these moms, and I happen to love on their families. It's not just the babies, it's the moms, it's the dads, it's the families. So that's what I do.
Hey, can I just tell you that what you do is near and dear to my heart. I think I first learned about you probably through one of our small business forums. And you shared what you were doing, and I just loved, what your nonprofit is about. Absolutely. Thank you
so much.
For what you're doing in your community. Young people are my passion. You are out there helping young people with raising their children. I mean, what more important work can you do than raise a child, right? I think what you're doing is fantastic. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much
for sharing.
Yes, no problem.
Let me see. We go girl, boy. So I think I tried to call on Manan Jakolu. I'm sure I'm butchering your name. I apologize, but I think I tried to call on you last week. Would you like to share this week? We can't hear you. You are muted. Are you able to unmute yourself?
Do now, just a minute.
There you go.
Okay.
Hi, how are you?
Thank you. Thank you.
Can you say your name for us, please?
Let me put it a little bit. Try to. Let me hear this. Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you very well. Can you
Okay,
say for us?
thank you. Thank you. Yes, my name is Manan Jokaleu. Actually the founder and the owner of Safe Mobility Service Rights LLC. My business actually started 2019, but become operational officially on March 2019. And basically, I'm passionate about delivering services. I work in human service for a long time, like almost 12 years. And then I decided to establish my own business. So basically, with my business focus on non-emergency medical transportation, and it's covered the 80 county and other county that bordering area county like Chautauqua County, Caracas, and Jamestown, and most likely those who are qualified for the medical transportation, approved by Medicaid to transport for the medical services appointment. Those are my target customers and clients.
Great.
And I'm doing very good. I'm doing well.
Very good. I'm glad to hear that. There is a need for that. Have you thought of expanding to providing transportation for childcare, daycare centers?
Yes, we're looking for that opportunity because now we just focus only on Medicaid, and especially now with COVID-19, a lot of people, they're not going for medical appointment. They're scared to go to hospital. Mm-hmm. So having an opportunity to expand to different services will be a plus for us. You know, if we find opportunity to do that, we're glad to do it. Yes, we'll be happy to do it.
Maybe we should have a conversation about that. Do we have your phone number and email address?
Yes.
Okay, great. We'll be in touch. Thank you so much. Thank you.
You're welcome.
For sharing.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Let's see. Katira, Poland. Is it Poland or Poland?
Hi, it's Katira, Poland.
Poland. Hi, Katira. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you. Good to see you.
You too. So my name is Katira Poland, and I'm a book editor. I have a book editing boutique, so I work with authors to help them publish their manuscripts before they're published, or to polish their manuscripts before they're published. I started it in 2017. I have edited a comic book. I mostly edit nonfiction though, like memoirs, self-help, things like that, autobiographies. So I've been growing my business since then. I think I'm up to almost 24 books, so it's going well for me. Thanks so much, Pastor Stone, for having the event, and it's nice to meet everybody.
Great, wonderful. Katira, I did pass your information on to a young woman who works with us on a part-time basis right now. Her name is Taylor Hosby. I think she's part of an organization that's writing a book for young people, and they're looking to publish, so I gave her your information.
Awesome, thank you.
She'll be in touch. Maybe I'll give you hers so you can,
sure.
If you don't hear from her soon, you can reach out to her directly.
Sure, sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you everyone for sharing. That's my quota for today, 3 people. I'm not gonna go beyond the 3 today because I think we're running a little bit short on time. So thank you for sharing and for giving me the opportunity, for giving us all the opportunity to learn more about each of you, and think of this as a community, a network of friends, people who are invested in your success. So feel free to reach out to any of us here at Pathstone at any time. I know that Michael feels the same way, Michael McCarley, our presenter. You know, make friends while you're here. Support each other. Go on each other's Facebook pages, Instagram pages, like each other's pages. You know, share what you learn here about your fellow small business owners with your friends, your family, your own network, and let's see how this community can help uplift small business owners in Buffalo and Rochester. So thank you. Enjoy the class, Adam.
Yes, thank you very much, Dion, and thanks everybody for sharing. I'd love to hear about. I wish we could have just an hour and a half of everybody sharing what their business is. That would be a lot of fun. But thanks everybody for sharing. And for those of you who didn't get to share, we will be calling on more people next week. So if you want to share next week, please put that in the chat, and we will make sure to get to you next week. But now I'm going to hand over presentation powers to, well, Dion, can you hand me back or hand them over to Mr. McCarley there? So that we can, we'll get with Mr. McCarley, and he is going to introduce us to week 2 of the next level. So Mr. McCarley, it is yours now.
Oh, thank you, Adam. Thank you. Thank you, Dion. Good afternoon, everyone. How are we doing? For the individuals that are definitely here, please give me a thumbs up. Or put in the chat that you are here, you're available to answer all these wonderful questions that I'm about to hit you with. All righty. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I got 37 on the call, but I don't have 37 responses in here. So keep putting them in there. Thank you very much. All right, this week is going to be a little different. There are a couple things that I'm going to do. And we're primarily really going to start with your story. Adam, quick question.
Yes, sir.
Control on the screen.
Let's see. Dion, I think you are the host. Are you able to give hosting power to Mike?
My screen said Mike was the host.
Yes, I'm
Sydney.
the host. I made Michael the host.
Okay.
All right, so we're going to change this up real quick then.
Oh, we had it there. I can see your screen now, Mike.
Okay. Everybody can see my screen?
Yes, sir.
All right. Let's make this a powerful world then. So we're going to talk about your story. One of the interesting things about this story in and of itself is most of the individuals that kind of present to, for, or in front of individuals, honestly, we take too long. So one of the things that has to change or should change is, quite honestly, prospectively, what you're saying to individuals, how and why, just to hook them in. This particular piece is one of actually 4 segments that I actually do, but for right now, we're going to show everybody that's actually in this particular class the difference in the prepared pitch presentation, which actually identifies part of your story. And everybody, I hope you got pad and paper. For those of you that don't, I should probably say on occasion every week, you probably need to have a pad and paper with me so you can take some notes. It is also to my understanding that part of, other than the presentation itself, which will be on YouTube, there is PDFs which also are going to be attached for some of the stuff that we're talking about today. So First up for bid on The Price is Right. How many individuals actually know, first of all, what their NAICS score is? And more interestingly, how many people? I need 3 people to kind of volunteer for what I got going on. But you got to know your NAICS score. How many people know that? And before I give you the definition of stuff, this is why I'm just strictly asking. How many people have their NAICS score?
Looks like we have one so far, Mr. McCarley.
Okay, where are the rest of y'all? I know some of you guys know what it is. All right, let me give you a hint. It's called the North American Industry Classification System. I had partially talked about it last week. So that was kind of your homework, even though I didn't say it was homework. So I need 3 people. How many people actually know the NAICS? We've only got the one. Katira, you're the only one that knows it? You can unmute yourself.
I think that's it. I'm taking it. I think it is.
Oh my
It's
goodness.
I'll have to double check though.
All right, Lamar. Okay, so Lamar, you're going to be one of my volunteers? Actually, I'm
Yes,
sorry, I can't. What's that now?
Yes, I could be one of your volunteers.
All right, thank you very much, sir. Anybody else? Barbara, you going to be one of my volunteers?
Yes.
All right, good, good, good. All I need is really one more. Katira, that number, that 91604.
I'm double checking that now. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I'm double checking that now. It's for writing and editing.
All right.
I can volunteer.
Okay. So this is what I want you guys to actually do right now. And everybody that's actually on the webinar, I want you to listen very carefully to the following thing that I'm going to ask my 3 volunteers. And what I want my 3 volunteers to do is to introduce yourself, the name of your company, what position you hold, and what does the company do. So who's going to start? Everybody don't jump up all at once.
Hello, my name is Lamar Swan. Lamar Swan Landscaping. My NAICS code is 56130. We cut trees we cut grass, trim trees, and shrubs, landscape, and make sure that the architecture is right. What else would you like to know?
What role do you play?
What did you say, sir?
What role do you play?
I am, I learned from last week from you that I'm self-employed.
Okay, so
and
you're the president, vice president, secretary, what?
I'm all of that.
Actually, truly you are, okay? But don't tell anybody that you're presenting to. All right.
No, right. I'm the owner.
Okay, cool.
Operator.
All right. So that took about 54 seconds. Who's my next person? Barbara, did you want to go? Okay, unmute yourself.
Okay, here goes. Premiering now for the first time. My business is A Wider Door. I'm the owner, and I provide coaching services to people who seek, because of their unique abilities, those who seek an alternative path to earning an income. Oh, do I need anything else?
What position you hold? You the owner or you just run it?
I'm the owner.
You are the owner. Okay. So that was about 24 seconds. Cool. Tyra.
Hi, my name is Katira Poland. I am the CEO of Love for Words. We polish manuscripts for authors who are looking to publish. My NAICS code is 561410, and I am the CEO.
That actually was about 30 seconds. So everybody heard their presentations of who they are. Is that correct? Everybody give me a thumbs up. Or a comment in the chat will work. $561. Now, I want you guys to remember their particular presentation. And why I want you guys to remember it is because my wonderful volunteers are actually going to repeat what they do at the end. And I want you to kind of notice the difference in the presentations. So, one of the things that happens a lot of times in our presentations, and I always say I want to start with mental, physical, financial, and spiritual well-being. Again, this is for you all. You know, where are you at today, right now? Be honest with yourself. Where are you mentally from 1 to 10? Where are you from a physical component 1 to 10? Where are you financially from 1 to 10? Where are you spiritually from 1 to 10? 1 means, I mean, you know, it totally sucks on a lollipop. And number 10 is you're able to do backflips. So I want you guys just to do this for yourself. I'll give you a minute so that you actually have an idea, you know what's going on with yourself. This also becomes a guide, and it's a guide for you to really know where you are. Because, you know, you can do a lot of studying with us, you're establishing the business, you can make a whole lot of money. But if you don't actually begin to pay attention to really the 4 worlds that we actually operate in, we have to use our mind. In order to use our mind, we have to at some point really be able to work on our physical components so our mind is strong. Financially, don't get me wrong, if we're honest with ourselves, and some of the things you may actually learn out of this particular series, you might be a little shorter than what you think you are financially. That's not the important part. Know where you are so you can actually move forward. And spiritually, definitely begins to move you in a manner, and it's not necessarily religion, but it is the aspect that you believe there's something definitely better than yourself and something that actually kind of keeps you moving forward, that keeps you operating, that keeps you in a position that you're able to do the physical, which helps the mental, which quite honestly, when the mental is tight, financially, you're focused, you're targeted, you begin to make things happen. So.
Hey, Michael.
Yes, ma'am.
As your host, only you have the ability to launch that poll.
Okay.
You know how to do that? Look at the bottom of your screen, the black bar. You should have an option for
polls. There we go. All righty. Oh, okay. Some of you put this stuff in chats, but this will be interesting for the individuals that are participating. Let's go through this under the poll. So, where are you mentally from 1 to 10? Mark it in there on your particular page.
Did you start the poll?
Yep.
Oh, great. Wonderful.
A couple seconds to put your answers in to see where you're at.
And you have to scroll down for each, oh, and I misspelled physically. I'm sorry about that, guys.
But Deanna has noted, what you do is you scroll down. Mentally is the first, physically is your second, financially is your third, and spiritually is your fourth.
So there are 38 or now 37 participants in the room. So just going to give folks a minute or so to respond to the poll, and then you can share the results.
It's about 20 more seconds. That's some interesting responses. All right, 3, 2, 1. All right, I'm actually going to, well, we've got 28 or 35. Can I get a couple more folks in here to do them all? Can we push it? Can we push it? Ten more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, I'm gonna end the polling. Got 29 out of our 35 individuals. So 41% of you mentally are at an 8. Only got 10% on 6, and I got 14% that are actually at a number 10. Congratulations on that. I'm probably gonna come borrow some of that stuff from you guys. Physically, 31% of you are at a 7. The other two highest are 6 really at 24% and 8 at 24% as well. Financially, pretty much across the board, I got 14% at 1, and I get that. I've got 14 at 3, I got 14 at 4. Everybody's pretty even across the board, quite honestly. I have no 10s, so I'm assuming there are no millionaires on this call. That works. Where are we at spiritually? 28% of you are at an 8. Another 28% are actually at a 10. Cool. Well, I want to thank you guys for that particular piece. And again, for yourselves, I want you to keep in mind what those are. And every week we go through them, see where you're at. If you're doing better, you're doing worse. But this sets a benchmark for where you're at, because ultimately, on an average, when all things are running on all cylinders and you're not one step from going to the crazy house, people are about an 8.5 and 9. So that's a goal I want people to try to strive for. It's not perfect, because somebody said to me once, the most perfect aspect of life is that which is imperfect. And so what we do is we have to manage things. We can't control them, but we have to learn how to manage. All righty, so let me get rocking and rolling. Last week here, a couple interesting things we learned. That 1 + 1 is equal to 3. We talked about the cash flow quadrant, which comes from Robert Kiyosaki from Rich Dad, Poor Dad. We talked about creating a value proposition. We talked about a 4-legged stool. Again, that NAICS, the North American Industry Classification System. And what I want everybody to do is, I want you to go into NAICS.com, NAICS.com, and I want you to go in under the search, and I want you to put in keywords that are associated for the business that you actually do, and I want you to find that NAICS code, because a lot of the stuff you would do for presentation purposes, whether it's for investors and even to some degree for friends, but definitely for governmental contracts, you want to know what that code is, because that code also is an identifier on your certification paperwork if you're going for that as well. Now, I had briefly talked about an aspect of what is it all going to cost you, and understanding what it was actually going to cost you and what is it actually going to cost you now. So again, how many of you actually looked up your NAICS code last week? I kind of asked that beforehand. I'm going to keep getting on everybody about it. I want you to be able to look it up so you know exactly what it is. Barbara, you asked about the code seeming so general. The thing about it is the code, if you actually read the descriptions, they're a little more specific than most people think. What you have to do is actually kind of look through the codes and find something that really suits you. But one of the things, and I'm kind of jumping ahead here, and Lamar is probably going to be the example in this particular piece, because he partially, in his statement of the introduction of his business, actually gave part of the definition for the NAICS. And so one of the things that happens is I'm going to show you a shorter way on doing the NAICS and using the NAICS actually as a description of your business. Too many people, I say, what do you do? And there's this long conversation about what they do, and you lose interest. So what happens is I'm going to give you guys a shorter way. And in the shorter definition, what happens is you can add really bullet points. In Lamar's case, you know, we do lawns, we do landscape architecture, we do, you know, you don't need to give people a lot. All you do is you give them a few items. So again, you draw them in so they continue to ask conversations of you and really begin to engage you with what it is you actually do. So one of the interesting things is I ask people a lot of times, why was your business started? And I get a lot of interesting answers. Some of them, you know, somebody just wanted something to do. However, just wanting something to do is a hobby. Okay, that's not really necessarily a business. And believe me, IRS will actually tell you the same thing. And they will definitely keep a close eye on you if all you're doing is a hobby, because a lot of the deductions you want to take, you can't. Someone asked you to do it. Well, okay. Someone asked you to do something because they may have seen a need out there. Okay, I get that. You happen to observe people buying it, buying the service, or quite honestly, you saw people or you saw a need for the products or service you actually put into play. Now, why do we really start businesses in a short manner? We want to, we have to, we need to, or we're desperate to. The last one that we are desperate to is a position you want to try so hard not to get yourself into. Because when you do stuff out of relative desperation, even though you may need to do it, it needs to be planned accordingly. And you need to understand very clearly what it is you actually do. And a lot of it, especially that we needed to do it, has a tendency of, quite honestly, being our story. So why was the business started? There is an observation which may have been made for the need. Some of you actually understand or may have actually heard this thing called the pain, or people's pain points, or clients' pain points. And also for anybody putting together a business plan, when you are actually describing the business that you're doing and you are trying to also identify the fact that it's a need for it, it's enormously helpful to have really some statistical data to actually back up what you're actually trying to say about what you do. People sit around and tell me, you know, there are a lot of people out there that need their cars fixed. Okay, so are all those people coming to you? What percentage of those people actually going to come to you? Matter of fact, how many people are there that actually statistically need their car fixed? 15,000 people. Okay, are you going to service 15,000 people? I don't think so. You might serve a smaller amount of them, but even in making that plan, what you determine that you can actually approach from a marketplace also begins to dictate the numbers that go into your business plan. But that's something we're going to talk a little more about next week. But for the business, for the aspect of their story, what was the observation? So right now, I want everybody to really kind of think about, why is it that you started the business? What was it that you actually observed that you felt was a potential need? Something that needed to be satisfied, that needed to be helped. You had a talent, a desire, drive, resource, whatever that happens to be. And I'm going to give you guys a couple minutes to actually think about this. Okay? But why was the business started? The business was born out of the observation that there was a need for. Oh, and I'm gonna make this more interesting for you. This isn't a paragraph. I want you to do 1 or 2 sentences. Now that makes it challenging. So can you tell me in 1 or 2 sentences why you started the business? More interestingly, what it was that you observed that there was a need for. And I don't know if we have anybody actually on here that does entertainment, but entertainment also, strangely enough, depending on who you talk to, is a need as well. You're trying to satisfy that particular need. Are you challenging people mentally? Are you challenging them physically? But again, what did you observe as being the need? Shannon definitely had a good observation. And she gave an example of such in the beginning. I'll give you guys about 30 more seconds. But this particular answer to this question, and for my volunteers, I want you to be real clear on this, because this is in part going to be part of your representation of who you are. All righty. I hope everybody got that. I hope they began to write it down. Because now what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you the introduction. 4 primary sections to it. And for those of you that were looking up your NAICS code, I'm proud of you. Thank you very much. I see some of the stuff in here for the particular codes itself. And at some point, you know, just to be sure that you got it right, you know, if you do 2 or 3 different things, just make sure that you write what those items actually are. And for most individuals, you should probably not have more than really 3 major items that you're going to push or promote. Because I see these people doing these numbers, but I also want you to pay attention to what that definition is. So the introduction is always really simple. You'll notice on the screen, my name is, and I am the president, or I'm the owner, or I'm the director, or I'm the founder of, and the name of your particular company. An establishment which is engaged in, and where those spaces actually are, that is the first line in the definition associated to your NAICS code. Now, some of the NAICS codes are interesting because they have really, really long first lines. And what it says is, you know, an establishment which is primarily engaged in. And that's where I want you to take it from. An establishment which is engaged in whatever the case is, based on that first sentence. So for individuals that found the NAICS code, yeah, Eli, you probably do have a couple of codes. And so actually you're going to take both of those codes, and more interestingly, you're probably going to take parts of each one of the sentences associated with the codes itself. Because for many individuals, you have to realize there is not just one code that is associated with a lot of the things that we actually do. Sometimes there are several. So just find that code. And again, my name is, I'm the president, owner, director, or founder of your company name, an establishment that is primarily engaged in lawn services, aquatics, lactation services, lactation education, book editing, whatever it happens to be based on that SIT code. Like I say, you take part of that first sentence in the description. So can I get a thumbs up or a comment in the box for individuals that have actually done this, so we can move into the next slide. You taking your notes, Jasmine? All right. Yeah, sure. I can give you more, another second. That's good. Anybody else? Put your stuff in if you have it, or give me a thumbs up. Adam, how many responses are we getting on the thumbs up?
Oh, let's see here. I've got 1, 2, 3. I've seen 3 so far.
Some of the people have
Keep 'em
actually
up,
put
guys.
this stuff, some people put it in the box, so that's fine. All right, now, you just saw this slide. This is the observation. This is also going to be a part of the relative presentation. This stuff goes in order. You're first going to introduce yourself. You talk about that the business is engaged in whatever, and then you stop. And then somebody says, oh, maybe they say, "Why? Oh, you're doing that kind of business. Why did you start it?" Well, you know, the business was actually born out of the observation that there was a need for da-da-da-da-da-da. Again, short, sweet, simple. The thumbs up does a tap for a few seconds. Oh, okay, that's fine. Yeah, if you put the thumbs up on the screen, it's only going to be up there for a few seconds, but Adam will catch it. Remember, this is your first screen. And you guys are going to get a PDF on this as well when you go in to take a look at it on YouTube. But again, my name is, what your role is in the particular business, name of the company, business is primarily engaged in. Someone asks you, well, how did you happen to start a business like that? You know, why did you start it? Was there really a need for it? Yes, there was a need for it, because the business was actually, it came about because I observed certain things. I saw certain things. I worked in a particular environment and I witnessed a lot of things that were not happening. Individuals that work in the health field know exactly what I'm talking about. So next item up for bid. What is one of your solutions? So you observe that there happened to be an issue, a problem. There's a pain that needs to be eradicated or at least mitigated. And one of your solutions is what? Now you might have several. You don't need to run them all out to the particular individual you're presenting to. All you need to is identify one of your particular solutions. In Lamar's case, well, Lamar, you have the Rider 1500, which is a 35-inch blade underneath a sitting riding mower, or standing riding mower. So you can actually, hack down large acreage in short periods of time. You're not standing there all day long, okay? We have, an educational component that we allow. There are 15 steps that we actually use to help us actually, come up even with the relative solution to the particular problem that somebody actually has. But I want you to think about one of your solutions. One of the things that you do to satisfy what your company does. Let me give people a couple more minutes to actually finish that. And if anybody has a question about the ones we've just gone over, please, unmute yourself and ask the question. All righty.
Mr. McCarley,
Yes.
my question actually is about the NAICS code.
Okay.
But when it asks for the keywords, but why is it that you can't search under your name, your business name? Like,
Okay, because it's not described by name, it's what you do. That's what NAICS looks up. You're actually looking up what it is that the business does. So when you go into the NAICS, matter of fact, let me do this real quick. Let me do this real quick, people. Dun, 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 dun. Oops. Share screen. All right, can everybody see my screen?
yes.
All right.
Does it say Zoom, right?
All right, we're going to change this up. Going into NAICS.com. And in NAICS.com, you notice on the far right-hand side, it says find your NAICS code. On the top of your page, it says NAICS search. Give me a keyword, Simone. What is it that your business does? Simone?
I'm sorry, I was talking. Family support and tutoring.
All right, so I'm gonna put family support in here. Okay, hit enter. Does anything come up? Now you'll look, and there are a bunch of things that have come up.
Right.
Parent support services, single family.
Oh, okay.
Okay, there's a bunch of stuff that actually comes up, and some of this may or may not be appropriate based on what you do. Okay, you said tutoring, is that correct? Is one of them?
Yes. Mm-hmm. When I put that up, most of college type tutoring.
You got one, exam preparation and tutoring. Okay,
Right.
but if you actually think about on a pivot,
Mm-hmm.
what you actually are teaching somebody is potentially being tested for, therefore that might be another NAICS code for your particular business.
So you're saying more than one?
Oh, you can have more than one NAICS code, yeah.
Oh, you can?
Oh,
Oh,
definitely. Oh, definitely. Listen, I got some clients that have 8 different NAICS codes because of what they do. And the longer your business is in operation, you pivot into other stuff. Prime example, one of the things that COVID has actually done, some people have had to pivot their business. So, I started, even for myself, I'm a face-to-face person. I really am. But now, one of the things that ends up happening is I can't necessarily see people face-to-face unless I have a mask on, as long as I'm 6 feet away from them, okay? But what it's done, it's also helped to give me another idea of how I might actually approach and or deal with individuals, okay?
Okay.
So like I say, you can have more than one.
Okay, thank you. That was my dilemma, was I think I probably will have more than one. Thank you.
No problem. All right. So now, back to the presentation at hand. So we had one of our solutions. So the next item up for bid is, how are you relieving the pain? We accomplished this by. So I'm gonna do companion care as an interesting example.
Excuse me, Michael. Shayna asked if we could go back to a particular slide. She says, I need the last question. Shayna, which slide are you?
He got it already. He did. Yeah, but I did put another question in the chat. I'm sorry.
Another question, Shayna.
Go ahead, ask your question.
Okay, my question is, I just tried to do the NAICS code myself, and for breastfeeding or lactation, there isn't one. So what do you do when there isn't a service provided? Because I have it for doula, but I don't have it for lactation.
So lactation has several different keywords associated to it. What you do is breastfeeding, you go around that. Again, education is a general area, but you're providing education.
Healthcare.
Okay. All right. So again, how are we accomplishing the particular pain that we're relieving? Remember, we had a solution. I'm gonna go back to my landscaping piece. I got a John Deere 33 inches riding mower. Okay, that's one of our solutions. Or let's reverse this. One of my solutions is my 15 question checklist to figure out how I need to cut your lawn, Lamar. Let's put it that way. And we accomplish this by using the John Deere. Does that make more sense? These two questions in particular sometimes are enormously interchangeable. Even I have to keep that in mind. So our solution is, this is what we do. We've got checklists, we do an observation, we ask a question, we do a review, we do a cite. We accomplish it by implementing special tools to potentially make this actually happen. This is also identified as a feature. And then lastly, resulting in. That's the benefit. This is actually and should be your wow. So because of the particular solution that you had, the way you actually handled it results in what? Your clients levitating and floating across the room, okay? Children that haven't smiled in months suddenly smiling and laughing at your jokes. Food that, people thought was only so-so, but now it's fantastic. And so therefore you're getting accolades and praises and winning competitions and contests. But this resulting in should be reflective of your client. How is your client going to feel about what you have just provided for them? They're happy, their lives are better, they're able to move forward, the lawns are done well. Women are getting appropriate information for lactation. The pre-review for polishing up a book is so much better. And actually that particular review of book services probably add another 1,000 books on the person's sale piece. It was my understanding, Deandra, you do hair?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I do hair, and I also have created a hair growth serum line.
Okay, so there you go. That's just a product base. What's your solution? Our particular serum line. We accomplish it by, it's a 3-step process to put it into play, which makes, our particular clients or the particular product, boom. Okay. So has everybody got that offhand? Anybody got a question? Give me thumbs up. Give me comments in the chat box, please. All right. Yes. Thank you, Chandra. Cool. Got some thumbs. How are we doing in the chat box, Adam?
We got 1, 2, a couple of yeses coming in here.
Can you go back to the previous slide? Not the last one, the one before that. Yes, thank you.
Welcome. Actually, I think my buddy's still on the line here. Yeah, he's a contractor in Western New York. You know, one of his solutions was enormously innovative with regard to doing in-home renovations. And he actually accomplished it by setting up a dual platform, part of which was educational for the terms you want to use, disadvantaged students, high-risk students, whatever the case may be. But he used them, and so he's providing education for these individuals to learn a particular trade. And what ends up happening is it results in the fact of them actually gaining employment that they might not have been able to get beforehand. All right, so without further ado, I'm going back to my 3 volunteers. And what you guys are going to do is you're actually going to present based on the platform that you just had. You're going to start with this particular piece. My name is, I am of the particular business, the name of the business. It's an establishment which is engaged in the NAICS definition, at least part of the first sentence. The business was actually born out of the observation for the need for something. One of our solutions is we accomplish it by, and it results in this. So Lamar, did you want to lead us off?
Yes, my name is Lamar Swan. I'm the owner of Lamar Swan Landscaping, an establishment engaged in cutting grass, trimming trees, and shrubs. Our business was born out of the observation that there was a need for great landscaping. I also was in the landscape field and was tired of working for someone else's wealth as a top landscaper in Buffalo, New York. One of our solutions to this is to put out great landscaping, and we accomplish this by listening to our customers' needs and wants and putting in hard work with no excuses. The result is great landscaping.
And first of all, that was 36 seconds. The first one was 54. Does anybody notice a difference in the way he presented initially versus his second set of presentations? And you can unmute yourself and make a comment.
I got a lot more information.
Yeah, he was very clear on what it is that he was expressing too.
Want to make comments also in the chat box? Please do. Katara, you're up for bid.
Hello, everyone. My name is Katira Poland. I am the CEO of Love for Words, a business that engages in editing. My NAICS code is 561410. I started Love for Words because I observed that there were many authors who either didn't know how to edit or didn't want to edit. So I decided to start my business. And the solutions that we offer are proofreading and editing. We also relieve the pain, of course, by proofreading and editing. So we eliminate errors, we fix spelling and grammar. We also help with clarifying messages, so it's a better read for the readers of the books. The benefits is that the authors are proud of their manuscripts, they're satisfied. Additionally, they are ready to publish, and their readers are also satisfied with the books that they publish.
There for a moment. Good. There are some adjustments and I'm going to say this now, there's some adjustments I'd make to everybody's presentation piece, even Lamar's, but we have to be careful. We don't want to make it long. The whole point of this is to create a hook. Don't give everybody all of the benefits, just give them a couple of them, okay? So
okay.
Who's my last person? Miss Barbara.
Okay. Let's see. My name is Barbara Robertson. I'm an owner of A Wider Door, and I provide coaching services to those who are seeking an alternative path to earning an income. I have observed that there have been many people who have been frustrated with having a work-life balance that had not suited their needs due to things happening such as illness or having to caregive, or because they have differently abled skill sets. So I decided to start this so I can give clients the opportunity to rethink and reimagine their path to making a viable income that suits their life.
We missed a couple things, which was because the result was like, the result should be, okay? That last week, the result is it's the wow. It's the thing that makes everything you do worth it, because these are why people actually come to you. And the thing about it is, and I'm gonna ask everybody else, and again, you can unmute yourself. Did you notice the difference from the presentations in the beginning versus that in the end? Yes, no, put it in the chat. Do people notice the difference? Yes, more confident, very much. Yes. More thought out, definitely. So I'm gonna end with this particular note, because I know nobody has any questions because this is such an astute class. One of the things you want to be clear on is what it is you do. What you want other people to understand is what you do, but they don't need your life story and telling them what you do. This is who I am, this is what I do, this is how we accomplish it, this is what the end result is actually going to be, and therefore you might be interested in utilizing our services. That's short, that's sweet, and it's simple. So for my volunteers, how'd you guys feel about it? Barbara, how'd you feel about doing it? Did you feel different?
I felt different because it did help me to be more concise and also to narrow my vision for what I want to do as far as a company.
Okay, great, great. Lamar, did it help you?
Yes, it helped me be very much more prepared. It helped me be very much more prepared of what I wanted to say, and it made me seem like I was more it made me seem like I was more organized.
Okay. Katara, how about you?
I agree. I felt more confident, also felt more comfortable. And was able to, convey who I am and what I do clearer than the first presentation.
Okay, cool. So my work today is done. I want to thank my volunteers for actually helping me out here. This was a great thing. I've put in the chat my email. Oh, which is, I just spelled it wrong. Wow, shame on me. Anybody that has a question about this and doing it, I will be glad to actually help you out, because this is what I'm here for. All righty, so Adam, thank you very much, sir. And I hand it back on over to you.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Mr. McCarley. As always, it's so informative, and you are definitely an educator and a teacher. This is so great. I know I filled out a little bit for myself. We will have the slides available for everybody, so you guys can take a look at those at your leisure, and come prepared next week, and may surprise you and call on you to tell the class about your business. Let me make sure we get to the right slide here. Sorry, guys. Yeah, I love that. You guys don't, I hope you guys understand how important it is to be able to concisely and clearly inform people as to what your business is and what you do. Because if you kind of hem-haw around or you're not sure, or I think a lot of it is if you're able to take that lack of confidence out of it, if you're able to, if you know this is exactly what I say when I meet somebody, this is my, this is my business, then you don't have to worry so much about that fear of rejection. You just know I say this to everybody, this is what I am, and whether you're pitching it to an investor or a customer or a vendor or a financier, there's you know exactly what to say and how to get that across. So, but I want to thank Mr. McCarley again. He is the director of the SBEI, the Small Business Education Institute. So, Mr. McCarley, thank you again for your wisdom and pointing us down this next level. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, and you're welcome.
So, as we do every week, we want to let you guys eat. We want to have lunch on us this week. So, for those of you who are looking to eat in Buffalo, you guys know the drill. Freddie J's and Sunshine Vegan Eats are the two restaurants we have available right now for vouchers. So put in the chat below if you're in Buffalo, if you want to eat in Buffalo, whether you'd have Freddie J's or Sunshine Vegan Eats, let us know where you'd like to eat. And if you are in Rochester, we have El Pilon Criollo and the Arnett Cafe. So if you're in Rochester, if you want to eat at one of those locations in Rochester, put it in the chat below, and we will get your vouchers out to you in the next couple of days. Again, that's a free mail on us, so please use that. We'd love to, since we can't be in person and we can't have that fellowship face to face, which is so important, and I think we're all kind of missing a little bit at this point. I know I am. I interact with like 2 people face to face, and I'm ready to see more of you face to face. So one of those people is just my delivery driver for my Grubhub. So we have a very good connection now. But I won't need delivery. I'm just going to get some Freddie J's or Sunshine Vegan Eats since I'm here in Buffalo. So let us know where you'd like to eat. And as we wrap up here, just a couple of announcements. First, again, this Thursday from 12 to 1:30, we have social media with David Simons from Kingdom Social Media. We're continuing the Tech Talks discussion, the Tech Talks workshop. We are halfway through that. So, and that's okay. If you want to come in halfway through, again, if you only want to come for one session, that's fine. It's free. It's available to you, and there's a lot of great information in those workshops, and they're going to be available on YouTube as well. So be looking for those. And then next Wednesday and the following Wednesday, so September 30th and October 7th, we'll have the final 2 sessions of Tech Talks, where we talk about website design and content management, website development and content management with Mike Warren from View Signage. So please check that out. Next Level, class number 3, coming up next week. And Mr. McCarley, what are we learning about next week? What can everybody expect to hear next week in Next Level?
Actually, we're going to start talking a little bit about the numbers again. And one of the things I'm going to ask you guys to do, so please work on this during the week about the presentation piece, because I'm going to ask a couple of you guys to please, reiterate what we just learned today. But next week is going to be about some numbers.
Awesome. Numbers. That's coming together as a group and being able to learn the numbers together is it's a lot easier than learning it on your own. So please come to that and be ready to learn and take notes. I know I'll be taking notes, so I'll be looking forward to it next Monday, 12 to 1:30, same bat time, same bat channel. I don't think anybody my age understands that reference, but I was born 40, so.
Adam, I just want to remind everyone that we need to update this slide with that information. On October 2nd, Friday, October 2nd, we will have a fantastic panel of nonprofit experts that includes a founder and executive director of a local Rochester nonprofit, someone who has managed nonprofit boards for years and will be able to provide some insight into nonprofit governance, as well as an attorney who will walk you through the steps for the legal formation of a nonprofit. One of the things I want you to think about in preparation, if you plan to, if you're thinking about starting a nonprofit or you have a nonprofit and you plan to attend, I want you to start thinking about ways that your nonprofit can earn income. Yes, nonprofits can earn income. Think about the Girl Scouts. What do the Girl Scouts do? What are they famous for? Cookies. That's earned income. Think about Paul Newman. Paul Newman's estate has a charity foundation. And when you go to the grocery store, what do you see on the shelves?
Salad dressings.
Absolutely, that is earned income for his charity. So I know that people typically think of grants and fundraisers as ways of earning or getting money to run their nonprofits, but I want us to begin thinking differently about nonprofits. Think about, I think there is someone in our group that is has a nonprofit that advises children and families on how to eat healthy. Maybe you have a secret family sauce. And you could, like Paul Newman, turn that into a product that you can sell to earn income for your nonprofit. Maybe perhaps Katira, if Katira were to start a nonprofit, she could do consulting or, I'm sorry, I'm getting a bunch of text messages here from my colleagues. She could do consulting, she could do, provide, do speak at events and earn speaker fees. That's one way. Perhaps you create an app and you can sell this app and other people can buy your app, use your app, you're earning an income from doing that. Maybe you want to be a social entrepreneur. What is a social entrepreneur? Does anyone know what a social entrepreneur is? Well, a social entrepreneur organization is an organization that addresses a basic unmet need or solves a social problem through a market-driven approach. And I'm going to paste a couple links in the chat here. I want you to investigate some of these organizations, see what other people are doing out there. That's focus points. And here is Banda Dosa. Check them out and see what they're doing to earn an income for their nonprofit. A 501c3 can own an LLC. Did you know that? And that's how you become or create a social enterprise. So that's just some information. I want you to start ruminating, around in your brains, your big brains that are always thinking about how you can solve solutions. I urge people to create nonprofit companies and to form for-profit companies so they can create wealth for themselves, their families, and their communities, and provide good paying jobs in their communities so people can lift themselves out of poverty. But there will always be a place for nonprofits. So if you are intent, or the only way you can see your way to provide that solution is through a nonprofit, I want you to start thinking about how your nonprofit can earn income, residual income, to operate successfully and to sustain itself, because there is just so much money out there in terms of, you know, government or private funds, grants, and there's so many people at the trough. You're going to be competing with, I don't know how many nonprofits are in Buffalo, but if it's anything like Rochester, there's one in every corner. It's like the South End churches. Yet these social problems that we've been dealing with for decades, generations, still persist. So I urge you to think about creating a for-profit business and creating wealth for yourself, your family, and your community. But if not, and you are going to start a nonprofit, think about how your nonprofit can earn income. And I'm stepping down from my soapbox. Please look out for the email. Jahida will be sending that out either today or tomorrow with the registration information for our October 2nd Small Business Forum on nonprofits.
Yeah, guys, that's we're looking forward to the forum, and anybody who's ready to join, it's free. Come in and learn more about the process of starting and running a nonprofit and managing that. This is obviously a passion of many of ours as and Dion's, and we're excited to explore that more and to have it. We've seen a lot of people who want to start a nonprofit, so we wanted to have this forum available to those who want to learn more. So we're excited to have that. But I think that does it for the week. Guys, we will see you next week. Thank you so much for your engagement and being a part of this and being active in this. I'm seeing just in the last few minutes, we've had like 100 responses in the chat. So I love that. That's why we do it. We couldn't do it without you guys, and we're doing it for you. So we will see you next Monday, 12 to 1:30. And if you guys have any questions, you know how to reach us, and we will talk to you soon. Have a good week, guys.
Also, congratulations again to the winners.
Yeah, congratulations, everybody.
Yay. Bye, everyone. Have a good week.
Have a good one, guys. See you next week.